Hey Gemini, I just pulled cards for you, and honestly, what came through is something I need to share with you right away because the energy here is absolutely fascinating. I have been doing readings for a while now, and sometimes you get those sessions where the cards just speak so clearly, and this is definitely one of those moments. So let me dive right into what the universe is showing me for you. I pulled 6 cards total for this reading, and I am taking my time with each one because there is so much depth here that I do not want to rush through any of it. The cards I drew are Knight of Wands, 6 of Swords, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Pentacles, and 9 of Swords. And Gemini. When I laid these out, I immediately felt this sense of movement and transformation that is coming your way. Let me start with the first card, the Knight of Wands. So this card jumped out, and I have to tell you, this is not a subtle energy at all. The Knight of Wands is all about action, passion, and this fierce determination to move forward. For you, Gemini, this is interesting because you are already an air sign known for your quick thinking and adaptability, but the Knight of Wands is bringing in this fire element that is going to absolutely amplify your natural abilities. What I am seeing here is that you have been in a phase where maybe you have been thinking about things, planning, considering your options, doing all that mental work that Geminis do so well. But the Knight of Wands is saying that the time for just thinking is coming to an end. There is this powerful urge to take action that is going to come over you, and it is not going to be a gentle nudge. This is more like a lightning bolt of inspiration that makes you want to jump up and actually do something about all those ideas you have been carrying around. The beautiful thing about the Knight of Wands is that he does not wait for perfect conditions. He does not sit around making pro and con lists forever. He sees an opportunity and he goes for it with full confidence. And I feel like this is the energy that is going to be infusing your life. You might notice yourself becoming more spontaneous, more willing to take risks, more comfortable with the idea of not having every single detail figured out before you make a move. What really strikes me about this card in your reading is that it is appearing right at the beginning, which tells me this is the catalyst energy. This is what is going to set everything else in motion. The Knight of Wands often represents a person or a situation that comes in fast and changes the game completely. For some of you, this might literally be a person entering your life who has this fiery, passionate energy and who inspires you to step outside your comfort zone. For others, this might be an opportunity that presents itself suddenly and you are going to feel this magnetic pull toward it. I also want to talk about the fearlessness of this card because it is significant for you. Geminis can sometimes get caught in analysis paralysis, right? You can see all sides of a situation so clearly that it becomes hard to commit to one path. The Knight of Wands is here to break through that pattern. This energy is going to help you trust your instincts more and worry less about making the perfect choice. There is a confidence coming in that says even if things do not go exactly as planned, you have the skills and the adaptability to handle whatever comes up. Now, the timing on this feels imminent. The Knight of Wands is a fast-moving card, so I do not think you are going to be waiting around for months for this energy to arrive. Pay attention to sudden invitations, unexpected opportunities, or moments where you feel this strong impulse to say yes to something. That is this Knight energy showing up for you. All right, moving on to the second card, which is the 6 of Swords. When this card came out right after the Knight of Wands, I found it really interesting because these two cards together tell such a clear story. The 6 of Swords is about transition, moving away from troubled waters toward calmer shores. This is a journey card, and specifically, it is about leaving something behind in order to move toward something better. So here is what I am picking up for you, Gemini. After that burst of Knight of Wands energy gets you moving, the 6 of Swords is showing me that you are going to be in a period of transition. And I want to be really clear about what this means because the 6 of Swords is not about dramatic upheaval. This is not the Tower card where everything falls apart. This is a conscious, deliberate choice to move away from something that is no longer serving you. What I find really powerful about this card is the image of the boat moving across water. The person in the boat is being guided. There is a sense of support and help during this transition. You are not going to be doing this alone. Whether that support comes from other people, from your own inner wisdom, or from circumstances that seem to align perfectly to help you move forward, there is this sense of being carried toward something better. For you, Gemini, I feel like the 6 of Swords is talking about leaving behind old patterns of thinking or old situations that have been keeping you stuck. You know how sometimes you can stay in something longer than you should because it is familiar, even if it is not really making you happy anymore. The Six of Swords is saying that you are going to have the clarity and the courage to recognize what needs to be left behind. This could be a relationship that has run its course, a job that is not fulfilling you anymore, a living situation that is no longer right, or even just old beliefs about yourself that have been limiting you. The Six of Swords does not specify exactly what you are leaving behind because that is personal to each individual, but there is definitely something in your life that you have been holding on to, and this card is giving you permission to let it go. What I really love about the Six of Swords in your reading is that it comes with this promise of peace. The waters ahead are calmer. The journey might feel a bit emotional because you are leaving something familiar, but there is relief on the other side. I am getting the sense that some of you have been feeling mentally exhausted or emotionally drained by something, and the Six of Swords is saying that relief is coming. You are moving toward a place where things feel lighter, clearer, more manageable. I also want to mention that the Six of Swords can represent physical travel or relocation for some people. So if you have been thinking about moving to a new place or taking a significant trip, this card is a green light. That move is going to be beneficial for you, and it is going to open up new possibilities that you cannot even see yet from where you are standing now. The energy of this card feels gentle but purposeful. You are not running away from something. You are moving towards something better with intention and clarity. And that is a beautiful place to be, Gemini. Okay, the third card, and this is where things get really interesting. I pulled Temperance, and when I saw this card, I actually paused for a moment because Temperance is such a profound card. This is one of the major arcana cards, which means it carries significant weight and represents major life themes and lessons. Temperance is all about balance, harmony, integration, and finding the middle path. The traditional image shows an angel with one foot on land and one foot in water, pouring liquid between two cups. This is about blending opposites, finding equilibrium, and creating something new through the process of mixing different elements together. For you, Gemini, this card is absolutely perfect, and let me tell you why. As a Gemini, you are represented by the twins, which means duality is literally built into your nature. You can see both sides of everything. You have multiple interests. You might feel pulled in different directions sometimes. Temperance is coming in to show you how to integrate all these different parts of yourself into a harmonious whole. What I am seeing here is that after the action of the Knight of Wands and the transition of the Six of Swords, you are going to enter a phase where you learn to balance everything in a new way. This might mean finding balance between work and personal life, between your need for social interaction and your need for alone time, between different aspects of your personality that sometimes feel contradictory. But here is what makes Temperance so powerful. This is not about compromise where you give up parts of yourself to make things work. This is about alchemy. This is about taking seemingly opposite things and blending them in a way that creates something entirely new and better than either element was on its own. I feel like some of you Geminis have been struggling with feeling like you have to choose between different parts of your life or different versions of yourself. Maybe you have been thinking you have to be either the serious professional or the fun creative person, either focused on relationships or focused on your career, either practical or spontaneous. Temperance is saying no, you do not have to choose. You can be all of these things. The key is finding the right blend. This card also speaks to patience and taking a measured approach. After the fiery energy of the Knight of Wands, Temperance is reminding you that not everything has to happen at once. There is wisdom in taking your time, in allowing things to unfold naturally, in trusting the process of gradual transformation rather than forcing immediate results. What really stands out to me about Temperance in this position is that it suggests you are going to be developing a new level of emotional maturity and wisdom. You are learning to respond rather than react, to consider the long-term implications of your choices, to find that sweet spot between moving too fast and moving too slow. For some of you, Temperance might also be pointing to healing. This could be physical healing, emotional healing, or spiritual healing. The angel in the Temperance card is often associated with healing energy, and I feel like there is a process of restoration happening for you. If you have been through a difficult period, Temperance is showing me that you are finding your equilibrium again. You are recovering your sense of peace and centeredness. I also want to mention that Temperance can indicate a spiritual awakening or a deepening of your spiritual practice. You might find yourself drawn to meditation, yoga, energy work, or other practices that help you feel more balanced and connected. Pay attention to what calls to you during this time, because those callings are guiding you toward greater harmony. The overall message of Temperance for you is that you are being asked to be the alchemist of your own life. Take all your experiences, all your different qualities, all the various aspects of who you are, and blend them consciously and purposefully into something beautiful. You have everything you need within you already. Now it is about finding the right mixture. Moving on to the fourth card, the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, Gemini, when this card appeared, I got chills because the Wheel of Fortune is one of the most powerful cards in the entire tarot deck. This is another major arcana card, which means we are dealing with significant forces and major life changes here. The Wheel of Fortune represents cycles, destiny, turning points, and those moments when everything shifts. This card is basically saying that you are entering a period where the wheel is turning in your favor. Things that have been stuck are going to start moving. Opportunities that seemed out of reach are going to become accessible. Circumstances are going to shift in ways that open up new possibilities for you. What I love about the Wheel of Fortune is that it reminds us that life is constantly changing, and nothing stays the same forever. If you have been going through a challenging period, this card is incredibly hopeful because it says that the wheel is turning and better times are coming. The universe has cycles and seasons, and you are entering a more favorable season. Now, I want to be really clear about something with the Wheel of Fortune. This card does involve an element of luck or fate, but it is not purely random. The Wheel of Fortune rewards those who have been doing the work, who have been staying true to themselves, who have been planting seeds even when they could not see immediate results. You are now entering a harvest time where you are going to start seeing the fruits of everything you have been putting out there. For you, Gemini, the Wheel of Fortune suggests that there is something big shifting in your life. This is not a minor adjustment. This is a major turning point. The wheel turning can manifest in so many ways. It could be a career breakthrough where suddenly opportunities start flowing to you. It could be meeting someone significant who changes your path. It could be a realization or epiphany that completely shifts your perspective and opens up new directions you had not considered before. What strikes me about having the Wheel of Fortune in this reading is the sense of divine timing. Things are lining up for you in ways that you might not even be fully aware of yet. There is a larger pattern at work, and you are being moved into position for something important. I know that might sound vague, but the Wheel of Fortune works in mysterious ways. Sometimes you only understand the significance of events in hindsight when you can see how everything connected. I am also getting the message that some unexpected good fortune is coming your way. The Wheel of Fortune can bring windfalls, lucky breaks, being in the right place at the right time, or having things work out better than you expected. Stay open to surprises and do not dismiss opportunities just because they come in unexpected packages. Another aspect of the Wheel of Fortune that is relevant for you is the idea of taking responsibility for your own destiny. Yes, there is an element of fate and larger forces at work, but you also have agency in how you respond to the opportunities that come your way. The wheel is turning and bringing you chances, but you need to be ready to grab them when they appear. Stay alert, stay flexible, and be willing to say yes to things that feel right even if they are different from what you planned. For those of you who have been feeling stuck or stagnant, the Wheel of Fortune is fantastic news. Movement is coming. Change is coming. The energy that has been blocked is going to start flowing again. You might even feel it physically as a sense of relief or renewed energy and motivation. I also sense that the Wheel of Fortune is connected to your personal growth and evolution. As the wheel turns, you are also evolving. You are becoming a new version of yourself, stepping into greater power and authenticity. This turning point is not just about external changes. It is also about internal transformation and claiming your place in the world more fully. All right, the fifth card is the Nine of Pentacles, and this card makes me genuinely happy for you because the Nine of Pentacles is one of the most positive cards in the entire deck when it comes to personal achievement and self-sufficiency. When I see this card, I see someone who has worked hard, who has cultivated their skills and talents, and who is now enjoying the fruits of their labor. The Nine of Pentacles shows a figure standing in a lush garden, surrounded by abundance. There is a falcon on her hand, which represents mastery and discipline. This person is elegant, confident, and completely comfortable in their own company. They have created a beautiful life for themselves through their own efforts, and they are savoring it. For you, Gemini, the Nine of Pentacles is showing me that you are moving toward a period of real independence and self-sufficiency. This card suggests that you are going to reach a point where you feel genuinely proud of what you have accomplished. you are going to look around at your life and recognize that you built this. You created this stability, this comfort, this sense of security through your own hard work and determination. What I find really powerful about the Nine of Pentacles in your reading is that it comes after all these other cards about movement and change. It is like the cards are saying, yes, there is going to be action and transition and big shifts, but all of that is leading you toward this place of abundance and satisfaction. The Nine of Pentacles is the reward for all the effort you have been putting in. This card also speaks to quality over quantity. The Nine of Pentacles is not about excess or showing off. It is about having exactly what you need and appreciating it fully. It is about surrounding yourself with things and people that genuinely bring you joy, and letting go of anything that does not meet that standard. There is a refinement to this card, a sense of good taste and discernment. For some of you, the Nine of Pentacles might be pointing to financial improvement or stability. Your income might increase, you might finally reach a savings goal you have been working toward, or you might find that money starts flowing more easily to you. But more than just money, this card is about feeling secure and knowing that you can take care of yourself no matter what comes up. I also want to highlight the independence aspect of this card because it is significant for you. The Nine of Pentacles suggests that you are going to feel really comfortable being on your own. This does not mean you are going to be alone necessarily, but it means you are not going to need anyone else to feel complete or happy. You are going to have this beautiful sense of self-sufficiency where you enjoy your own company and you do not rely on others to provide your sense of worth or security. For Geminis, this is particularly meaningful because you are social creatures who often get energy from interacting with others. The Nine of Pentacles is showing you that you can also find deep satisfaction in solitude, in your own company, in pursuing your interests without needing anyone else there. This is about developing a strong relationship with yourself. The Nine of Pentacles also suggests luxury and treating yourself well. I feel like you are going to be in a position where you can afford to splurge a little on things that make you happy. Maybe you finally buy that thing you have been wanting, or you invest in an experience that feels really special, or you upgrade some aspect of your life to better reflect who you are becoming. You deserve nice things, Gemini, and this card is giving you permission to enjoy them. Another dimension of this card is mastery and expertise. The falcon represents skills that have been honed through practice and discipline. You are becoming really good at something, and that expertise is going to open doors for you. People are going to recognize your talents and value what you bring to the table. Your reputation is growing. The overall vibe of the Nine of Pentacles for you is one of satisfaction and contentment. You are going to reach a point where you can relax a bit and enjoy what you have created. There is a sense of having arrived at a good place, and that feels really well-deserved based on everything else I am seeing in this reading. Now, the sixth and final card is the Nine of Swords, and I want to talk about this one carefully because the Nine of Swords traditionally depicts anxiety, worry, and mental stress. When people see this card, they sometimes get alarmed, but I want you to understand what it is really showing us in the context of your reading. The Nine of Swords is the card of the worried mind. It shows someone sitting up in bed in the middle of the night with their head in their hands, unable to sleep because of anxious thoughts. There are 9 swords hanging on the wall above them, representing all the mental burdens and concerns they are carrying. Here is what I am picking up for you. The Nine of Swords in this final position is not saying that everything is going to fall apart or that you should be afraid of the future. Instead, this card is showing me that there is a mental or emotional pattern you need to become aware of and work through. Specifically, I am seeing that you might have a tendency to worry or overthink things, and this habit could potentially hold you back from fully embracing all the positive changes that the other cards are promising. Geminis are ruled by Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication, which means you live a lot in your head. You think constantly, you analyze, you consider multiple scenarios. This is one of your strengths. But the Nine of Swords is highlighting that it can also become a source of suffering when your mind runs away with worries and worst-case scenarios. What I sense is that as you move through these upcoming changes, the action of the Knight of Wands, the transition of the Six of Swords, the balancing of Temperance, the turning of the Wheel of Fortune, and the achievement of the Nine of Pentacles, there might be moments where fear or anxiety tries to creep in. Your mind might try to sabotage you with doubts and worries. The Nine of Swords is appearing to make you aware of this pattern so you can catch it when it happens. The good news is that the Nine of Swords is often about fears that are worse in your imagination than they would ever be in reality. Most of what we worry about never actually happens. This card is asking you to question your anxious thoughts rather than accepting them as truth. When you notice yourself spiraling into worry, pause and ask yourself if these thoughts are based on reality, or if they are just your mind playing out worst-case scenarios. I also want to point out that the Nine of Swords can indicate a need for better sleep and rest. If you have been having trouble sleeping, or if you are not giving yourself adequate downtime, that needs to change. Your mental health is directly connected to how well you are taking care of your physical body. Make sure you are getting enough rest, eating well, and not pushing yourself too hard. For some of you, the Nine of Swords might be pointing to old trauma or past experiences that are still affecting you in the present. Maybe something difficult happened in your past and you are carrying fear from that experience into new situations. This card is encouraging you to do the healing work necessary to release those old wounds. You might benefit from talking to a therapist, doing some journaling, or working with healing modalities that help you process and release stuck emotions. Another interpretation of the Nine of Swords in this position is that it is a warning card. It is saying, be aware of your mental health during this period of change. Change, even positive change, can be stressful. Make sure you have support systems in place and that you are not trying to handle everything alone. Reach out to friends, family, or professionals if you need help managing stress or anxiety. What I find interesting is that the Nine of Swords comes after the Nine of Pentacles in your reading. It is like the cards are saying, you are going to achieve success and stability, but watch out for the mental patterns that might try to convince you that you do not deserve it or that something bad is going to happen to take it away. Do not let your anxious mind rob you of the joy of your accomplishments. The message I am getting overall with the Nine of Swords is one of awareness and self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself when you notice anxiety coming up. Do not judge yourself for having worried thoughts. Just notice them, recognize that they are not necessarily true, and consciously choose to redirect your attention to more constructive thoughts. You have the power to work with your mind rather than being controlled by it. So, Gemini, let me bring all of this together for you because there is such a clear narrative running through these 6 cards. You are entering a period of significant transformation and growth. The Knight of Wands is bringing you energy, motivation, and opportunities for action. The Six of Swords is helping you transition away from what no longer serves you toward better circumstances. Temperance is teaching you balance and helping you integrate all parts of yourself into a harmonious whole. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor and bringing major positive shifts and lucky breaks. The Nine of Pentacles shows you achieving real success, stability, and independence through your own efforts. And the Nine of Swords is simply reminding you to manage your mental health and not let anxiety or worry interfere with all this positive momentum. This is a powerful reading, Gemini. Something significant is shifting for you. Stay open, stay flexible, take action when opportunities appear. Trust the process of transition and change. Find your balance. Embrace the good fortune coming your way. Enjoy your achievements, and be mindful of your mental well-being throughout this journey. I hope this reading resonated with you and gave you some clarity about what is coming. If any of this connected with your situation, I would love to hear about it. And remember, the cards show possibilities and energies, but you are the one who ultimately shapes your destiny through your choices and actions. You have got this, Gemini.